Good evening, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I don't have a haul for you guys because I realized I had space on my SD card. I just had to delete the footage off of it. It was already footage that I had used. I don't know why it was still on there. So I ended up getting it off of there, unable to have enough now, but like I said, I didn't realize that earlier, and so I had to just finish that, and then my SD card, I have enough space now to actually record on it again. However, guys, I got up actually early today, but I did not end up sleeping very well. I only ended up getting like 6 or 7 hours of sleep. I didn't end up, like, I woke up, I went to bed, I fell asleep almost at 2 o'clock, and I woke up at like 8 something, 9 o'clock. So yeah, I didn't end up getting a lot of sleep. I was up early and I am super tired and have been super tired all day today. However, I still got laundry and dishes done. I made dinner for tonight with those I got like 2 weeks ago at Jewel, those pork tenderloins. I ended up freezing them, but I ended up doing 4 of them, so I wanted to kind of do one earlier just to test out and see, like, does everybody like it? My dad said it was insanely flavorful and he really liked it. Jack seemed to like it. My mom was able to take like 2 bites and then realized that she wasn't really able to swallow it. So she has been actually having more stuff. So I also ended up making corn, and she was able to, like, we cut off the corn, sort of the corn off of the cob, and she was able to eat some of that. But again, she's still like limited to a lot of softer foods, or things that aren't very like breads and stuff like that are also sort of tough, because she can't, like, you know, it sort of gets stuck sometimes in the back of your throat, even when you haven't had neck surgery and had everything moved over to one side. You know, so she has been having a little bit of trouble with some of those type of things. And so anything that just sort of like gets mushy and sort of like sticks together, or things that are also very like stringy, like I said, like the pork that she ended up having today, and also she had coleslaw like one of the first days after she came back. So we realized, like I said, those didn't work out too well. But I did go to Valley Produce and Caputo's today. There really wasn't anything going on, like really not even anything worth sharing hardly. I think in total we spent 30 something at Valley Produce and like 18, I think, or something like that at Caputo's. So I think we were like around 50 bucks or so between both stores. And we didn't get just produce, we ended up getting a couple of other things too. Like we actually got milk and eggs at Caputo's, so we don't have to get that at Aldi because it was on sale. And then we also ended up getting, I spent $5 on Freezy Pops because they are like the kind that my mom can eat right now, and they're actually more money at Menards, like for, I think it's either like a 24 36 for 32 pack or something like that, was like $1.99 or like $2.50 or something like that. And they were only $1.67 at Valley Produce, or like $5 for 3, so I ended up picking up 3 packages. But like I said, they were really good price, so I was like, I'm gonna pick these up. And on top of that too, she's not the only one that's been having them. Like Matthew and Jack have been having them too, and so I was like, you know, but they're like, oh, like, you know, we don't want to eat all Mom's Pop, you know, Freezy Pops or anything like that. But I was like, hey, we got a lot now. You guys can go ahead and have them. So it's like something that they can definitely have, you know, over the summer. And if that also helps prevent needing to, you know, the need for ice cream so often, because ice cream is very expensive, versus like you're figuring probably like it's like 10 cents for a Freezy Pop, whereas like a whole thing, you know, a whole bowl of ice cream that a person might wind up having is like, you know, could be up to like a quarter per bowl, you know, like I said, figuring that sort of winds up being, like I said, a lot better, you know, price, I guess. You know, probably even less than 10 cents each. So, you know, but again, something like that. So anyways, yeah, that's what we ended up getting there. And then we also got some organic apple cider vinegar, like the Bragg's apple cider vinegar, because it was on sale for $3.49, which is normally $7.49, so it's $4 off. I was like, that's also a pretty good deal. Like, I know Aldi has like their store brand, I think is like $3.99 maybe, or $4.99 or $3, you know, something. So I think it's right around the same price as there. So I was like, that's actually a really good deal. So I also picked up one of those because we were also low on organic apple cider vinegar, which we do use for, again, things here and there and stuff like that. But yeah, long story short, guys, picked up a couple extra things, but that was really it. So me and my dad ended up going there once he got home actually early. He was home at like 1 o'clock, but he was exhausted also. And so he ended up taking a nap and then waited till he picked Jack up, and well, actually took a nap for a little while, did a little bit of his workout, then ended up going and picking up Jack, and then we ended up going to the stores. But I actually edited both vlogs earlier today. Like I said, did dishes and laundry, went out to those 2 stores. I need to finalize my jewel list real quick. That is what I'm going to finish up doing, but it's only 10 o'clock right now, and I was like, I'm gonna take a shower now, but my dad's taking one, so I guess I'm gonna wait, take one after. But I also did like my German lesson earlier today too. So yeah, I'm like, I am pretty much done for the day, like finished up sort of everything that I needed to. I'm also gonna watch the Cubs game though, because one of the reasons that I ended up staying up sort of late last night was because the Cubs game was on until like 12:30, or I kept watching until about 12:30 and was ready for bed by about 1 o'clock or so, but then my mom needed help, and I ended up staying up until about 2 o'clock, and my dad ended up waking up a couple times in the middle of the night too to help my mom. So again, me and my dad. And then the thing was too is that this morning Matthew actually went with his girlfriend to the high school's graduation because her brother was graduating. So they ended up going there, but then Matthew left his keys like out, well, it's actually at the college that they go to, and he ended up leaving his keys out there, and so couldn't drive Jack to school this morning, so then Jack had to walk to school, which isn't a bad walk. It's like a handful of blocks, but he got stuck by 2 trains because there's train tracks between here and the high school, so he got stuck by 2 trains. He said he just barely made it, and then on top of that too, he gets to school, right, but his classroom's on the 3rd floor, so then he also like has to run up and go, and it's like at the opposite end from where he had to come in all the way to go to his classroom. So but he said he made it in like just enough time, so I was like, I guess that's good. On top of all of that too, guys, it was 97. It said in the car, I don't know what the actual high was for today, but I do know that it said on Saturday and Sunday, when I checked a couple days ago, it said that the high was supposed to be 90. And again, the car temperature like gauge is sometimes a little bit off, but when we were actually out at the grocery store when we left, it said it was like 93. When we left Caputo's, which was the last store, it said it was 97. And my dad was like, how is it getting hotter? And I was like, maybe you parked in the sun or something, you know, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know what it actually was today, but I'm sure that's probably close to what it felt like. It was hot today, guys. It was hot out. So yeah, it has been a long day. Like I said, some of us didn't all get sleep. Some of us, you know, had sort of crazy days, and on top of that, it's been hot. So everybody's just sort of been exhausted by all of today's, you know, little surprises. So anyways, yeah, like I said, just gonna finish up the jewel list, and then we're gonna do just, I think, Jewel and Aldi tomorrow, and that's gonna be it for right now. Just because we are, you know, like I said, there's a whole bunch of other stuff too. There's projects that we've like started and we need to still finish, and so I'm like, I'm trying to take as much time, you know, not, you know, grocery shop, coupon spending too much time on that, and try and focus on some of the other stuff that, you know, we need to do as well. And then tomorrow in the afternoon, I think we're gonna watch the fights. I think we'll play Minecraft maybe, and we would do that at the same time. Like Matthew will have it set up so that we can play Minecraft and we can watch the fights at the same time on the big screen. And I think we're also gonna get Dairy Queen. But like I said, it is stinking hot out right now. And on top of that too, guys, our air conditioning, I don't think it's gonna be fixed until, since it's Friday, probably maybe next week. I'm not even totally sure. But again, I don't know for sure the definitive date that they're going to be fixing it, but I was like, it's going to be hot. The other thing too, guys, I was thinking about this, I was like, you know what really has to stink is being a person that works on like heating and cooling, because you're probably there, I mean, maybe sometimes for tune-ups and stuff like that, but a lot of times you're probably in a location that is not air conditioned or not heated, right? So in the winter time, if you have to work on it, like somebody's furnace goes out or something like that, it's probably cold in their house when you're working on it. Or in the winter, or in the summer, it's probably hot because their AC is out. I was like, those poor guys are gonna be putting that stuff in our houses. It is not a very you know, nice environment right now because the heat is so, you know, bad right now, and it is not cool in our house. But like I said, my parents and I, you know, my air conditioner's in my window right now. My parents have theirs in their room, and then Matthew and Jack had the big one that we used to use for downstairs. Upstairs, because I told you guys, we originally were like, oh, we'll have that fixed before it gets too hot and we won't need it, so we'll just let them put it upstairs, which is like the big sort of, not industrial one, but it's just like the big one. And so, but it's like a multiple square footage, you know, cooling system, so it definitely totally works for upstairs real well. But again, it is a little bit of a pain because it doesn't, you know, we can't use it downstairs because we already put it upstairs, and even if we did use it downstairs, they would have to sleep in the heat, which is also kind of ridiculous too, and it's hotter upstairs than it is downstairs. So you know, again, we can spend sort of the day in the house, but if people get too hot and again need to, you know, escape the heat, they can go in their, you know, bedrooms. But again, this should be fixed most likely within the next week or so, and that'll be nice. But, and it hasn't been all too bad, honestly. I felt like today in the house, actually, it wasn't as bad as it was right before we got that really cold, like when me and my mom ended up going to the greenhouse and we got all the plants. That day was hot, and then on top of that too, we were doing so much stuff like outside work and things like that, and it was just, it felt hotter because it was, you know, just almost felt like the same temperature inside as outside. And like normally, like I'm working in the garden or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I just need like, you know, a couple minutes of cool air, go inside or whatever, and it was no cooler in the house than it was outside. So like, but to me that day felt hotter than it did today, and I did spend the entire day out in the rest of the house, but it just, like, we watched a movie and I was like, this isn't even that bad. But I remember like those couple days before we got that, again, cold, where it went down to like 50s and then now it's back up again. But right before that, there was a couple days there where I was just like, this is like almost unbearable. And it really didn't feel that bad today, and apparently it was hotter, I guess, than it has been. But yeah, outside work, we still have stuff to get done tomorrow, so this is gonna be fun trying to get that done in, like I said, 90 degrees outside. But I will let you guys know what we wind up doing tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed today's vlog, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see you on your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.